everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Successful Women's TV show. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen, and I am co-founder of Everyday Woman. You are probably either listening or watching, because I also have this on iTunes and Spotify. If you are listening, make sure that you go over to everydaywomentv.com to actually watch the episode. So today I'm excited to have with me Dr. Katy Chang. Welcome.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Dr. Katy, where are you joining us from?
I'm in Southern California, sunny Orange County, in a little
Beautiful.
city near Irvine.
Beautiful. What's the city called?
I'm actually in Foothill Ranch.
Foothill Ranch. Okay. I love OC. Beautiful, beautiful. And so I'm going to share a little bit about Dr. Katy today, and then we're going to go ahead and jump right into our topic, which is how thoughts shape reality. I'm really looking forward to that topic. I think it's going to be a good one today. So Dr. Katy Chang, a best-selling author, spiritual activator, and a beacon of transformation, ranked among the top 10 mindset and manifestation coaches in the U.S. for her unparalleled ability to catalyze profound personal breakthroughs. Who doesn't love a breakthrough? Always, always. At the core of Dr. Chang's approach lies a profound understanding of universal law and metaphysics, seamlessly integrating ancient wisdom with modern science. Ooh, I love that. And your work surfaces level, wait, let me say that again. Your work transcends surface level fixes, focusing on addressing the root causes of emotional and mental blocks, empowering clients to embrace their authentic selves and unleash their full potential. You've got so many great words in this bio. Great bio, by the way. I could
Thank you.
sit here and talk to you about the words that you use to describe yourself all day long. So what we're going to do next is go ahead and share a little bit with everybody this idea of transforming your thoughts into reality. I'd really love to hear a little bit about what that means.
Yes. And I love manifestation. So that's basically what I teach. But a lot of
Okay.
people don't realize what manifestation is. And they're doing these methodologies like the 369 methods or
Okay.
affirmations. And they don't understand why their manifestation isn't actually coming to them. And that's where I come in as a mindset and a manifestation coach, because it starts with your mindset. The stories, the victim stories, the negativities, the things that we tell ourselves on the day-to-day basis, the subconscious, right? That actually creates our reality. And so I created an acronym called TEAR. It stands
Okay.
for thoughts lead to an emotional response. And based off of that emotional response, it is how we act in the world. And when we make a decision to act upon our emotions, right, based off of that trigger, it's going to release an outcome. And so people don't see this chain of events. And so they're in and living in the pattern of this trigger and not stopping the trigger and acting out of emotions.
Wow. That makes
Yeah.
complete sense to me. Complete sense to me. I know that I've studied manifestation for so many years, probably about 15 years myself, and I really truly do believe in it. I obviously also recognize that we're always learning, Dr. Katy. So we're still, I'm going to use the word perfecting loosely, perfecting the system. So I'm excited to get into that a little bit more with you, because who the heck doesn't want to manifest the life that they desire and deserve? I mean, I'm going to raise my hand. So take us through
Totally.
a little bit of this.
Yes. And so when I was saying, like, okay, and I love the example because a lot of people want to learn how to manifest money. And then money is the easiest thing to manifest because it's actually energy. So
Okay.
you have a thought, and then many people are thinking, oh my gosh, they're looking at like what's going on in the world and they're thinking, oh my gosh, everybody's getting laid off. They're starting to like have this panic. And that's the emotional component, right?
Yeah.
Fear drives more fear. And that's how the law of attraction works, because like attracts like.
Mhm.
And so if you're subconsciously releasing this emotion, right? TE, so now we're in the E, the emotion of fear, we're going to attract more things that are of that frequency, right? And then we're going to act out on the fear. So let's just say, oh my gosh, everybody's getting laid off. I'm unemployed. I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to get to the six figures. you're emotionally feeling defeated and hopeless, then
Okay.
you're going to act upon that defeat. Perhaps you're not going to revamp your resume. Maybe when somebody asks you, because this is how the manifestation works, it works through people, places, and opportunities. Like me, I'm taking this opportunity to be on your TV show, right? It comes through that. But if you're feeling defeated, would you usually say no to the opportunity that comes to you? And so people may not revamp their resume, or the person that's trying to bring them out of despair, they're going to reject that gift. And they
Yeah.
don't realize they're rejecting that gift. And then the outcome, it looks the same. And they're like, see, manifestation doesn't work. It's a bunch of hoopla, right?
Yeah.
I'm still broke. But they literally didn't realize subconsciously they pushed away the manifestation when somebody was saying, hey, I'm knocking over here. Come to this networking event. Come on
Yes.
the TV show. So it
Yeah.
starts with your thoughts,
Yeah.
because thoughts become beliefs.
I think a big piece for me, and I make this little joke with my single girlfriends. Galit, it's not working. I'm working on manifesting the guy of my dreams. I said, great. Do you think maybe you should leave the house to meet him? He's more than likely he's not going to show up at your door and knock and say I'm here. So I love that you brought that example up, because I believe in that so much. Okay. I believe in that so much that I put out there that I'd like to have more clients. Right. And then
Mhm.
guess what? Last week I get an email that says, hey, Khalid, I want to connect you with this company. They need a new marketing company, because, Angela and I do a lot of marketing for companies. And wait, I just put out there, I want more clients, more consistent clients every month for Everyday Women. And guess what? This opportunity comes in an email, and now I have a choice. I have a choice to respond and set up that meeting, or like you said, I feel defeated. So I'm not, oh no, oh, I'm not good enough, whatever it is that we start doing in our brain. So I love that you use that example, because I've time and time again put something out there. Oh, I want more local speaking gigs. This is a perfect one. I did this in January. Do you know that I've had only local speaking gigs this year?
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
I know. So take us through, for those that are listening and watch us, take us through some of the things that they can do to change those thoughts, because we both know for some reason it is easier for us to have negative thoughts about ourselves and our future than it is positive. Take us through how we can work on that piece of ourselves.
Yeah. And I want people to realize, so I want to give them a little bit of
Yes.
inspiration. I can already hear the negative self-talk. Well, it happens for this person. It's not going to help it for me, right? It's so easy for us to have that. But your brain is really plastic. It's called neuroplasticity. It's very
Okay.
elastic, and you can always learn new things because your brain is constantly building these things called neural pathways. And it's
Sure.
like a hiking trail. If you constantly state the negativity, the negative thoughts, that hiking trail is going to be more defined. But as
Okay.
we shift it back, we're building a new neural pathway. And that other one, within about a span of 90 days, your brain scans itself and it cuts it off. It
Okay.
prunes. So it's pretty amazing what your brain can do. So I'm going to gift you with one super solid tip that always works.
Okay.
I don't want to overload your audience, because this is the one key thing that everybody needs to do. They need to do a pattern interrupt.
Okay.
So
Pattern interrupt.
yes, exactly. They gotta interrupt the pattern, because that hiking trail, that neural pathway of negativity is so well defined. So now we're trying to rebuild a new one and go off the unbeaten path. So when a trigger happens, whether it's a big one or a micro trigger, and we have thousands of micro triggers every day, those are the ones that I'm more interested in investigating, right?
Okay.
Because they have a stacking effect. So when you notice a stimuli or a trigger, interrupt the pattern, get curious without judgment. What does this mean? What am I telling myself? Because the reason why you're being triggered at this moment, maybe you're getting angry, upset, frustrated, is because that's an unhealed version of you that gets to be healed.
Okay.
Yes. And so you ask yourself, okay, what am I telling myself? And is it really true? What else could this mean? Because 9 times out of 10 is likely untrue,
Fair.
right?
Yeah.
Is this 100% true 100% of the time? That's another great one that I love. Is this 100% true 100% of the time? If somebody like Galit and Angela Giles, they could make, a seven-figure business, right? Why can't I? There's plenty of female entrepreneurs who are doing it. Why can't I? Right? So the stories that I'm telling myself that I'm not going to ever make it to seven figures or be able to be an entrepreneur, is it 100% true 100% of the time? Because I see so many role models who are doing it. And so that's the pattern interrupt that I want everybody to do without judging their stories, without judging their past. Just get curious. Okay, interesting. I'm feeling triggered. Yesterday I was being impatient in a group setting with my team. I was noticing what is it, as a leader, how do I communicate? What is the frustration? What's going on here without judgment? What could it mean? What am I not communicating effectively? And I interrupted that pattern before I started to get more
To keep
emotionally.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. I will tell you that what I found with myself, just because I've been working on it for so many years, is that sometimes it's not even a thought. For me, sometimes, like yesterday, I was on a call with three women, one of our clients and her business partner, and Angela, and they were saying things that were not registering. And I was jumpy. And then I realized I was jumpy because I'm so aware. And again, it takes patience and time to get there. But like you said, you work at it. I was so aware of how jumpy I was being that I stopped talking, took a deep breath, and it had nothing to do with what they were saying. And I don't believe I was triggered yesterday. Yesterday, it was just full blown hormones and anxiety for me. And girly stuff. Okay, we'll go there. Girly stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm aware of what just happened to me. When I get off the phone, I'm going to take one of my vitamins that helps my bodily functions relax. It's anxious symptoms. But a lot of times what happens to people is it's the thoughts, right? I'm going to mess up. Or and I also think that there's some people that just get naturally nervous. Like I get nervous every time I do an interview, Dr. Katy. Even though I'm interviewing and I've done hundreds of these, I still get anxious. And yeah, it could be definitely a trigger, but I think sometimes it's a trigger, sometimes it's not. What I have also learned that a lot of triggers for people is related to past trauma and experiences that they've gone through. I kind of call it like a memory foam in your body. And I love that you said pattern interrupt. I really want to say that again. Pattern interrupt, because I think that was such an important piece of stop the pattern. You have a choice. If you're freaking out, if you're yelling at somebody, if you're being impatient, step away, go to the bathroom, take a deep breath. Sometimes
Yes.
we'll be on these calls and videos, and I'll just take a deep breath. I don't
Yeah.
care if people are watching. So what are some of the other, I know we went through T and E.
Yeah. And that's the action. So like really it's stopping, it's getting at the point of the thought
Okay.
because a repetitive thought becomes a belief,
Yes, it does.
right? And then when you start to believe it, you start to identify as that person.
So true.
And that's really why I want them to stop the pattern of that thought. So like, like I stated, okay, without judgment, get curious, what does it mean, right? But if that's a little difficult for some and they need something else, like, hey, why not flip the script? I
Okay.
love saying it. Flip the script. I'm never going to get out of poverty. I'm never going to get out of this minimum wage job. What's the opposite? I am such a beacon of light that jobs and headhunters are looking for me. Recruiters are constantly blowing up my LinkedIn, right? Flip the script. We're building new neural pathways. We're taking that one and we're going to prune it off in 90 days and build a more positive neural pathway because like attracts like. That's how the law of attraction works. And as you start to prune and build a healthier thought pattern, not only are you going to take healthier actions and habits that will release an outcome, but you're going to energetically release these frequencies into the quantum field and people would be attracted to that And that's how we manifest.
You
Because
really start believing what you tell yourself. I'll tell you another one that I've been working on and doing such a great job the last 6 to 8 months. Most of my life, I've said I'm bad at math. And I convinced myself I'm bad at math. And it's not that I got bad grades when I was in school or whatever. It was just as an adult, being in one of my businesses, commercial real estate, we just throw numbers up and multiply and do things really fast sometimes. Or I don't tend to remember like how much something was sold for, how much I sold something for. So I just say I'm bad with numbers. I'm bad with remembering numbers. I'm bad with math. So about 8 to 12 months ago, I stopped saying I'm bad with math. And I started saying I'm good with math, and I started doing numbers in my head, and I found a way to do them because I'm very visual. I see the numbers now and I do it much better. And I'm not talking like 5 numbers times 5 numbers. I'm just talking simple math like 22 plus 8 or 22 plus 73. I don't know. Multiply. Yeah. And I stopped doing that. And I realized that I'd convinced myself I was bad at math, that I didn't even give myself a chance to become good at it. And the second that I stopped being bad at math, and I stopped being bad at remembering numbers. Instead, don't get me wrong, it was every single time, over and over again. I recognized that I'm so visual. Start seeing the numbers, start remembering them that way. Do it, write it in your head and watch yourself do the math in your head. So I really do think we convince ourselves of things like that. And it's not easy to change those habits.
I like to say, if you think it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard.
Amen.
So
totally agree.
Yeah. And then that's where, if we want to really simplify this talk, thoughts become things. It has legs, right? It grows, and it's energy. So get a hold of your thoughts. That's what I want to teach people, is to master their mind so they can master their life, right? That's my slogan. Let's master your mind so that these things, this negativity, this fear does not amplify.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And I think that it takes a lot of practice, and it's easier said than done because we just have been doing the same things for so many years, and our thoughts have been working against us for so long that it's not an easy thing to change. What are some of the things that you share with your clients so it makes it a little bit easier? And I don't like using the word easy, but you know what I mean. It's like you create this habit like me. I'm bad. Every time someone said, "Oh, Galit, what's this?" And I'd say, "Oh, I'm bad with numbers. Oh, I'm bad with math." So it just became almost like this habit of mine.
But here's the interesting thing, right? If you had learned all those negative habits and patterns,
okay,
and you learned positive habits and patterns.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
So is there a structure or a number of times that you just keep telling yourself that? And like you said, instead of saying, "I'm going to lose my job," you talk about how amazing and wonderful you are and how many people would love to hire you.
Okay, so now we're going to get into a different concept of dominant frequency. So you know how I stated that your thoughts release an emotion, and you have like a response based off of the thoughts. So let's just say we'll go with the picture of the economic climate again, right?
Okay.
And then we're seeing that the economic climate, like, Google just laid off another 10,000 people, and Microsoft laid off another however many, right? And so you have this feeling of fear. But what I want is for people to realize that they have this frequency, like we were saying with the law of attraction. You attract what you are, not what you want. And so if you're releasing fear into the world, you're going to attract more fear.
Okay.
So I give a lot of my clients another assignment where, until it becomes a lifestyle and you just live in this essence, put a timer on. Whether you have like an Apple Watch, I love Apple Watches, but set a timer every hour. Check in with yourself.
Okay.
And start with the thought. Say, hey, you know what? What's my energy? How am I feeling right now? Am I feeling good? Rate it 1 to 10, 10 being great, and 1 like train wreck over here. And then ask yourself, like, what happened in that last hour? The thoughts, the people I talked to, the interactions that caused my energy to dip.
Okay.
And then pattern interrupt. interrupt the pattern. And I love how you said, maybe I need to do breath work. Maybe I just need to go outside and ground and put my feet in the
Yes.
grass, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I just need the sun on my back because I've been sitting in a fluorescent office with terrible fluorescent lighting with no windows
Yes.
8 hours, right? Check in with yourself on the hour, every hour, and start to notice the patterns because I'm guaranteeing you there's always patterns because we are
Yes.
habitual beings.
Yes. I love that. Thank you so much. I think those were such amazing tips for us to get ourselves started. And that way, those watching and listening could reach out to you to learn more about what you do. Would you share a little bit more about how everyone can get a hold of you and find you?
Yeah, Dr. Katy Chang, as it's written right here, that's all my socials. You can find me on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. I think I have a YouTube, and drkatychang.com, of course, is my website.
Perfect. drkatychang.com. Thank you so much, Dr. Katy. We appreciate you coming on and sharing, in my opinion, such an important topic and something that anybody listening and watching can absolutely incorporate into their life starting today. So make sure you watch this again, everybody, or listen again, because I'm sure there's some tips that you missed. Write them down. Reach out to Dr. Katy Chang and learn more about how she helps people manifest their thoughts into reality. I love that so much. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to another episode of the Successful Women's TV show. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen, and I will see you next time. Bye.